gentlemen, on our left is the vehicle assembly building. The ones on the left side of the bus can get pictures now. The one we will be coming back, and the ones on the right can get more pictures then. I will tell you more about it on the way back. I'd like you to look to the right. The buildings up there on the hill, those are the press boxes, and this is where they would monitor the launch so you could watch it at home on your TV. Also on the far right, the flag flying on the flagpole. At the bottom of that flagpole was a little blue box, and that blue box is the countdown, Launch Pad 37. That is Cape Canaveral side. That is where all the launches are being done right now. Over here on our left is one of our crawlers on the bottom and one of our launch platforms on the top. We have 2 crawlers and 3 launch platforms. That crawler was made in Marion, Ohio by the Marion, Ohio Empowered Shovel Company. All right, we are looking at Launch Pad 39A. If you look at the main structure up on the top, there's an 80-foot lightning mast. That's as tall as that Mercury Redstone rocket I showed you. We are the lightning capital of the USA out here, so we are very, very careful. On the left is a rotating service structure. That, what I call a gray closet there. They would fill that up with all the payloads and seal it all up tight. In about 2 weeks, when the orbiter would come out, they would wrap that service module around the orbiter, and that closet would be up against the back of the orbiter's closet, and they would transfer all that payload into the back of the orbiter. But they would leave that rotating service structure around the orbiter for the next 30 days or until they were ready to launch, because we have such lousy weather out here some days, you never know, unpredictable. And so we have to protect the orbiter so nothing would happen to her. Those 3 lightning masts are over 600 feet tall. There's an inch cable between them that will hopefully direct all the lightning to the ground so nothing will happen to the rockets. This is a launch pad that John Glenn launched from at the age of 77 and went up to stay at the International Space Station for a couple of weeks. He is now in his 90s, so it's kind of cool. But he is the last of the Magnificent Seven, if you remember them. They were the first 7 to go around the moon or walk on the moon. And all those launched from Launch Pad A that did walk on the moon. So we are the first and only people that's ever walked on the moon. Kind of cool. This is 4 inches of solid concrete that has melted. That's what happens to it when they're at that launch. It melts, believe it or not, it melts. Yeah, it's wild. Anyway, we don't know what they're going to do with them. They're just here. We're waiting to see. We don't know what they're going to do with them. If you look back up on the top of the 39B there, that tall, skinny building, that is an elevator, not a building really. It's so the astronauts will be able to get up into the rockets. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to go across the crawlerway. I cannot stop, but I can go really slow. You can get some pictures if you would like. I think it's an awesome picture spot myself. See what on top there looks like spigots? Well, that's just what they are. All that water, that 400,000 gallons of water coming out of the water tower, goes through those spigots. There's a hole in the middle of that platform, and all shoot down through that with all the flames from the rocket. The crawler, of course, isn't underneath of it, you know, and so this is what controls all that. The crawler underneath there, that little glass box there in the corner, that is one control box. If you want to go one way, you get in that box, go one way. If you want to go the other way, you have to get out of that box, walk around to the opposite corner, and get in the other box. The crawler only has one gear, and that's forward. There's no reverse, and there's no turnaround. Each one of the tracks has 57 cleats, and each cleat weighs 1 ton. Believe it or not. It takes 20 people walking beside that crawler to bring it down the crawlerway to make sure all the parts work all the way down. We do not want anything going wrong with the orbiter on top of it, by all means. It is 525 feet tall. It sits on 8 acres, and you can get the New York Yankees baseball diamond on the top with parking to spare. The doors, there's 2 on this side and 2 on the opposite side. They are the world's tallest doors. They're 456 feet tall, and they will take 45 minutes to open all the way up. The building was built for the Apollo Saturn V rocket, which you're going to go see at the end of your tour. And when that rocket came through those doors, it had 6 feet to spare, that's all. If you look to the far right, that is one of the mobile launching towers that they have to have, along with the mobile launching platform and a rocket, to be able to launch off the launch pad B. Up here on the side of the vehicle assembly building is our United States flag. It's painted on. It is 209 foot tall, 110 foot wide. Each stripe is 8 foot wide, large enough for this bus to drive on it. And each star is 6 foot wide, large enough to make a bed, or point to point, whichever you want. It is one big flag, and we're mighty proud of her, I'll tell you. We can, on a clear day, you can see her like 20 miles away. That's all. Oh, there's a big one there too, yeah. Guess where they all went? They came up here where there's sunshine.
Oh my!
That's cool. That's cool. Alright. Alright, if you look out my right front window, these 2 little square buildings, there are 3 of them all together. Each one of them was a home for one of the orbiters. When they came back from space, they towed them into their home, checked them all out, made sure everything was okay, or fixed it, and then they reprogrammed and got them ready for the next time. Well, now Boeing has taken over all 3 buildings, and they are making an X-37B rocket. Between Boeing, Lockheed Martin, SpaceX, and NASA, we are going to space. The 3rd building is right there on the right. And also there's another launch platform over here on the right. You can see how the crawler would go underneath of it and pick it up to take it over to the vehicle assembly building. Now we're coming up our alligator pit up here on the right. If we're lucky, we'll get to see an alligator or manatees or different birds. I haven't been lucky here all day, so let's see what we got, if anything. Something's flopping over there, I don't know what. What is that flopping?
He's going by the bridge.
Well, now I don't see it. It's right there, it was, but I don't see it flopping now. You see it? Is it just a fish or is it a manatee?
Under the bridge?
I don't know what that was. Kind of weird.